Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Pubo Rama, and in today's video we're going to be talking about better alternatives to Imani Tech vehicles. As many of you know, Imani Tech cars are some of the best when it comes to armor and mobility. And we can see three great examples of Imani Tech vehicles in front of me here. We have the Dubachi Champion, Buffalo STX, and the Buffalo EVX. Now both the Champion and the Buffalo STX feature semi-bulletproof glass, as we can see. These semi-bulletproof glass panels can survive like 20-ish rounds before they get cut through. However, if you do have armor-piercing rounds or something like a minigun, one shot will cut through every single panel, as you can see. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, there's different types of Imani Tech vehicles. For example, these two cars can only survive 4 RPGs, where this electric Imani Tech vehicle can survive 10 RPGs. But all Imani Tech vehicles feature the same basic capabilities, and that is 10 homing missiles and a missile lock-on jammer. Today, I'm going to be talking about a couple of vehicles which I think are very good, if not better, in terms of armor or performance than Imani Tech vehicles. And you guys can let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. With that being said, as always, if you enjoy content like this, you want to see more videos, make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. Starting off, we have this, the ZR380, one of my favorite cars in the game. Not only does it look absolutely amazing, it has fantastic customization, super cool and unique weapons like the spinny blades of death on the front here, and the most important part about this vehicle is not only can it survive upwards of 3 homing missiles, but it also is completely bulletproof from the front. As you can see, none of these bullets are actually cutting through that front panel. Even if I use a minigun, none of these bullets will get through that front glass, because it's just kind of insane in that regard. So yes, the ZR380 kind of has the best of both worlds. It has not even semi, it just has full-on bulletproof panels on the front, and then it also has missile durability, which technically makes it better than any Imani Tech vehicle in terms of that category. And if you were going to say, oh, well, Imani Tech vehicles are faster, that's actually not the case. See, this vehicle has a rocket boost, which you can use, and it allows it to achieve a top speed over 142 miles per hour, making this one of the fastest sports cars in the game. Now, its handling is not the best. I know that there's always people that complain about the handling, but to be honest, I don't find it that bad. As long as you're decent around drifting, you can see here, it's no problem for me to get around that corner. You just lose a bit of speed when you do have to roll around a corner. And by the way, the spinny blade does actually work, as you can see. It launches vehicles. I'm pretty sure even a big truck like this, it still does a pretty decent punch, moving even big old trucks out of the way. But in general, this spinny blade is really fun to use and just launch parts off of a vehicle. It's a very, very fun car. It's got everything you'd want. It also has front-mounted lasers, just like Imani Tech vehicles, and, most importantly, it also has proximity mines that you can drop. These proximity mines are a lot cooler than the ones on Imani Tech vehicles, because these are EMP mines, kinetic mines. You can use a bunch of different ones. The EMP mines are by far the best, though. The reason why, if you place an EMP mine in front of a car, it literally just shuts the engine off, as you can see. They can't drive for 5 seconds, which is absolutely awesome. And as I forgot to mention, this vehicle also has the ability to jump. So yeah, I think the ZR380 really is great. You know, it has all these amazing capabilities. The ability to jump alone makes it very hard to actually hit this thing with homing missiles. And then you pair it with the speed and the durability. Kind of is the jack of all trades. Unfortunately, you can't use this in missions, and I'm really not sure why. But in a free roam lobby, this thing's a beast. Next, we have a sheer powerhouse in terms of durability, and that is the heavy Night Shark. Now, personally, I think this is one of the nicest looking armored vehicles in the game. I just love the design of this car. But it's not just the design that's pretty impressive, it's also the performance. The Night Shark is an incredibly well-armored vehicle. It can survive 27 homing missiles before being destroyed, and around 12 RPG shots. That makes it way more durable than any Imani Tech vehicle. And sure, it doesn't feature a missile lock-on jammer, but I mean, let's be real. The chance of you being hit by 27 homing missiles is slim to none. And if somebody's using an explosive sniper, then this thing's gonna last a lot longer than any Imani Tech vehicle. So that alone is great. But as I said, it's also the performance. This vehicle can achieve a top speed of 110 miles per hour, which is pretty dang fast. I mean, it's not as fast as the Buffalo STX or the Stinger TT, but it's faster than vehicles like the Patriot Mil-Spec or a lot of the slower Imani Tech vehicles, and yet it has way better performance. You can see we're already going over 105. It's a quick vehicle. And not only that, it has actually surprisingly good handling. It's very heavy, which means, yeah, vehicles don't really get in your way, which is something that Imani Tech vehicles normally can't do, is just, shrug any car out of your way. So this thing's kind of got it all. However, it does have one big downside, and that is protection when it comes to bullets. This vehicle has no bulletproof glass. Even though you can see I've got this armor paneling on it, it actually doesn't do anything, so that is something to keep in mind. However, you can use the Night Shark in missions, so at least there's that. But yeah, this thing's fast. You can see right now we're going upwards of 116 miles per hour. This thing's a beast, and the best part about the Night Shark is that it's very cheap. It's only like 1.4 million if I'm not mistaken, might even be a little bit less. There's no upgrades that are really special to this vehicle, so once you buy it, you've already got it. It's a very, very fun armored vehicle. This next vehicle might surprise you a bit, but it's actually the Acid Lab. The Acid Lab, in my opinion, is a very underrated armored vehicle. If you're new to the game and you want to get your hands on something that has ridiculous amounts of durability, decent levels of speed, and a plow that launches vehicles into the air without even a second thought, well, the Brigade 6x6 is the way to go. This vehicle, a lot of people don't know, can actually achieve a top speed upwards of 102 miles per hour. I mean, sure, it's not the fastest vehicle in the game, but it's still faster than the Patriot Mil-Spec, which is kind of sad when you actually take a second and think about it. And in terms of durability, the Acid Lab is by far one of the most durable vehicles in the game. It can survive upwards of 52 homing missiles. Yes, you heard that right, 52 homing missiles. In other words, you are never going to be destroyed while driving down the streets in Los Santos. Now sure, you can't use this vehicle in missions, but if you're in a free roam lobby, you can basically drive an Acid Lab and you will never ever have to fear being destroyed. It doesn't matter how many oppressors are after you. It doesn't matter if there's Raijus in the sky. This thing is insane in terms of its durability. And the best part is you can literally get it for free just by completing the first dose missions, even as a level 1. So yeah, it is kind of insane that you can get your hands on a fully weaponized, or not weaponized, but a fully armored vehicle. I should also mention, just like Imani Tech vehicles, this thing features semi-bulletproof glass throughout the whole front and side panels. So you can see if I shoot at this glass here, none of my bullets actually cut through that glass unless I'm going to pull out a minigun. So yeah, the Brigade is kind of insane. I've actually used this a lot on my Broke to Billions account when I didn't have armored vehicles, just because, as I said, when you're in a public lobby, nobody messes with you. You're so incredibly indestructible. And you also have the ability to use all of your weapons, as you can see. So anybody tries messing with you, this thing's, it's pretty insane. I mean, look at that. I can also shrug big vehicles out of my way. We got a semi-truck here. No problem at all. Get out of my way, dude. Yeah, the Brigade is actually severely underrated in my opinion. That brings us to the final vehicle we'll be talking about in today's video, and that is the Toreador. The Toreador, I never know how to pronounce this thing's name, but what I do know is that this vehicle is an absolute beast in every single category. And if you don't own this car, you need to get your hands on it. There's so many people that think they need an Oppressor Mark II, or they need, an Imani Tech car. Don't get me wrong, Imani Tech cars are great. They feature the ability to survive in public lobbies. In terms of missions, you're really not going to need an Imani Tech vehicle because you can pull out an Armored Kuruma for $500,000. And that'll do way better in missions than any Imani Tech car will. So if you're trying to make the argument that you need an armored vehicle for public lobbies to survive, then I think the Toreador has everything beat. Why? Well, first of all, the Toreador is just as durable as any armored car. It can survive upwards of 6 to 7 homing missiles before being destroyed. Yeah, you heard that right. I mean, this thing is incredibly durable. Not only can it survive multiple homing missiles before being taken out, but it also has offensive capabilities, and that's really where it just has the edge over every Imani Tech vehicle. This thing has homing missiles, and I should mention unlimited spammable homing missiles. I can just keep firing non-stop all day. I will never run out of homing missiles as long as I keep shooting them. Not only does this thing have spammable homing missiles, but it also features one of the most overpowered machine guns in the game. Yeah, watch how quick I can destroy this car in front of me. You ready? Here we go, and done. This thing's machine guns, for some reason, do the same damage as a minigun, and a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, I don't know why Rockstar kind of cracked out the miniguns on this vehicle in the Stromberg. So it's got crazy levels of offensive capabilities. It can survive multiple homing missiles before being destroyed. It also has the ability to use a rocket boost, achieving upwards of 150 miles per hour on average. It's incredibly maneuverable. It's a four-seater, and it can go in the water into a submersible, meaning that if you're really worried about somebody killing you, you can just launch yourself into the water like this, go into submersible mode, and now nobody will ever be able to take me out. And I should also mention, I can still use torpedoes in the water. And I can still use the rocket boost in the water. I mean, what more do you need from the Toreador? I remember when you could use this vehicle in missions, and it was so overpowered. But even that you can't use it in missions, it's still, by far, one of the best vehicles in the game when it comes to durability, just because of the fact you don't have to worry. I mean, there's never a situation I'm in this car where I'm like, oh boy, I'm going to get destroyed, because it just has everything going for it. So if you don't own a Toreador, I would buy it, especially when you remember that to get an Imani Tech vehicle, it's going to cost you a lot of money. A Buffalo STX alone's like $2 million, and then you got to put on all the Imani Tech upgrades, you got to get the upgrade station in the agency. Adding all that together, you're probably looking around $4 to $5 million to get your hands on a single upgraded Imani Tech vehicle, versus this car, which is also about $4 million, and at that point, I'd just go for this. Before we end off the video, there's one final car we need to talk about, and that is the Ruiner 2000. I've talked about this car plenty of times on the channel before, and the reason why this is such a crazy indestructible vehicle is due to something called fully loaded. See, right now, the Ruiner 2000 we're driving only holds 8 homing missiles, and not only that, it can't survive any explosions, as you can see. One homing missile, this thing's destroyed. So you're probably thinking to yourself, isn't that making it a piece of trash? Well, the thing is, if we go to SecuroServe, we go to CEO ability, or VIP work, and we go to fully loaded, and we start it up, we now have 20 minutes where we have a fully weaponized and armored Ruiner 2000 that we're able to use. We actually hop into this Ruiner 2000. Watch this. I'm going to drive this thing into this wall here. Watch how many homing missiles it can survive. 1, 2... already this is obviously an insane amount of durability compared to the base Ruiner 2000. There's 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6, 7, keep going, 8, 9, oh, still not even smoking. There's, oh, we missed that one. There's 10 homing missiles, 11 homing missiles, 12 homing missiles, 13, 14, 15. You get my point. This vehicle, it's a little ridiculous in terms of its durability. It can survive, if I'm not mistaken, around 20 to 25-ish homing missiles. And not only that, these missiles themselves are fully lock-on. They are completely overpowered in their capabilities. You have unlimited homing missiles, and you still have the ability to jump, parachute. Basically, when you're driving this vehicle, you're completely overpowered. And because of that, for 20 minutes, it makes this basically the most OP vehicle in the game. So yes, there are vehicles that are better than Imani Tech. And if you're simply driving around in a lobby to have protection, why not add on some offensive capabilities as well? And that's exactly what the Ruiner 2000 and Toreador do. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure to smash that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.